There you go. Sorry about that. I had to get a glass of water. My throat was feeling a little dry. Feels a little more dry now. Okay, so power rankings. Staying at number 32 is the Oakland Raiders. I mean, they won on Sunday, but you know what? It wasn't against anybody special. It was against the Arizona Cardinals. So, if there's ever an opportune chance to win, it was that game. So I still won't give the Raiders credit for it. Then we go to number 31, staying at number 31, the team that the Raiders beat the Arizona Cardinals. Staying at number 30 on the bye week, the New York Jets. I really didn't feel like, the Jets are just as god-awful. And number 29, down from number 27 off their bye week, is the Buffalo Bills. I know dropping them 2 spots during the bye week is kind of mean, but at the same time, the Giants won, so I had to move the Giants up. So I had to move some teams down. Staying at number 28 at the bye week is the 49ers. Going down from number 27 are Tampa Bay, number 27, down from number 25. Tampa Bay just keeps on dropping it every single game. And they dropped against the Giants. They could have won that game. They lost 38-35, so it's like, it is not good news for the Buccaneers. And their defense is just atrocious, so. Anyway. Number 26 up for number 29, the team that beat the Buccaneers, New York Giants. I've all this week on all the sports talk shows, they were talking about how wide open the NFC East is, and I posted the funny thing. I was like, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be something if the Giants ran the table and won the NFC East? It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. They got a couple of good teams still left on their schedule, including the Chicago Bears, so it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, but it would be hilarious if it did happen. And plus, I think people would be like, oh my god, seriously, that happened. But anyway, moving on. Number 25, up from number 26, the Cleveland Browns. I think they were on bye. Yeah, they were. So, they're looking better than the teams that are below them, so that's why they're there. Staying at number 24 is Jacksonville. Even though they're lost to the Steelers, I mean, they kept the Steelers in check for 3 quarters, and then they gave it all away in the 4th quarter. I mean, that's just bad. The reason I didn't move them down is that I didn't feel comfortable moving any team above them. Didn't feel comfortable moving Cleveland above them. So, there's that. Number 23, down from number 17, the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh my god. I mean, Super Bowl hangover is real, but this is probably the worst case of Super Bowl hangover I've ever seen. And, I mean, it's more so on the offensive side. I mean, they're a pretty banged up team. There's a lot of NFL teams out there that are banged up right now. You got the Redskins, you got the Falcons, and the Eagles. I mean, their secondary has been decimated. They have no run game because they have no running backs that can carry that load. And putting everything on Wentz's shoulders really makes it difficult. So, yeah, I mean, the only thing that is actually keeping them from me saying that they're not going to make the playoffs is the fact that they play in the NFC East. So, there's that. Number 22, down from number 20, Atlanta. Tough loss against the Cowboys, but you know what? And then they'll probably move more down from number 22 because of the fact that they lost to the Saints yesterday. They just look bad in both games. The Saints actually caused some turnovers. Ball control was a pretty big thing. And yeah, I don't think the Falcons are going to make the playoffs. I think they're done. Number 21, up for number 23, but they're going to probably go down again because they lost yesterday, is the Detroit Lions. Interesting win against the Panthers, but once again, lost to the Bears yesterday. And the funny thing is that, and I thought about this, I didn't make my picks. I was 3-0 in my picks yesterday. Bears, Cowboys, and Saints all won. But if I said one thing, I said that the Lions-Bears game was going to be competitive. I did not think it was going to be one-sided, mainly because of the fact that it's in Detroit, and for some reasons, teams playing in Detroit, and Detroit is just a whole lot better at home. But yeah, no, it's the line. I criticized some of the Lions' play calling yesterday because if they had decided to go one way over the other, they probably could have won that game. The turnovers, obviously, can't really control those, but there was a situation. I wasn't watching the game, but I was kind of following it, like the play-by-play. They were 4th and 1 in the 4th quarter, I believe, and it was on the Bears' 2-yard line. 4th and 1 on the 2-yard line, and they decided to go for a chip shot field goal. I'm like, I'm sorry. If that was me, I would go for it. You're down in the game. You want to go for the win. I'm sorry, you don't. It's 4th and 1 on the 2-yard line. I know the Bears defense is good, but it's like, it's only 2 yards. It's not like it's a mile. It's 2 yards. You have Leonard Fournette. Yeah, I mean, they should have ran that ball in, or maybe do a play option. But yeah, no, that was. I was so hoping. I picked Bears to win that game, but I was so hoping Detroit would have won that because it would have helped us. But anyway, number 20 up for number 22, and they'll probably go up again because they won yesterday, the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I mean, Amari Cooper looked really, really good yesterday. And you know, they still know that they have to beat Zeke if they want to win the games. They have to beat Zeke, and Dak Prescott is looking better. So, number 19 down from number 16 is the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers season is on the line this Sunday against the Vikings. They don't win that game, they're not gonna make the playoffs. Period. End of discussion. I know it makes me kind of cringe the fact that not only is it the Packers that are coming into town, it's a desperate Packers team, desperate Aaron Rodgers, desperate Mike McCarthy. It scares me, not to the point where I'd say I'm worried that we won't win, but it scares me a little bit because it'll probably be a really competitive game, and competitive games, if it's close near the end, and if Aaron Rodgers has the ball, we all know what happens. So yeah, Green Bay number 19. Number 18, up for number 21, the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, the Colts are training a lot of heads. Andrew Luck's doing solid. If their defense can just be this much better, they're definitely a playoff team. I think they could be a playoff team, but and again, they do play in the division with the Texans and the Titans, so we'll see about that. Number 17, up from number 18 on their bye, Miami Dolphins. They'll probably go down a little more. Miami is always a team where it's like, oh, we're not surprised they went 8-8 or 9-7. Or 7-9, so there's that. Number 16 up from number 19, the Denver Broncos. Seems like a pretty big jump, you might think, but I mean, they did beat the Chargers, and considering, I mean, the thing about my power rankings is that it's intuitive. It's based on what the team's performance is week to week. I mean, there might be teams below the Broncos that are better than them, but they just are now starting to trend upward. And, you know, if the Broncos keep on winning, then they're going to trend upward. So that's why the Broncos are number 16 up from number 19. Number 15 down from number 14, the Tennessee Titans. I think they lost to the Colts. Yep, 38-10, really really bad. Considering the week before you shut down Tom Brady and the Patriots offense, you go from that to not shutting down after looking at the Colts offense. It's kind of a downer. I know Mariota was hurt. It doesn't appear to be serious, which is a good thing. But yeah, no, it looks bad. Number 14 down from number 12, the Cincinnati Bengals. That's another team that's playoff chances are rapidly declining. They gotta get a win up on the board. Yeah, they lost to the Baltimore Ravens. So, and you can't allow a quarterback to run for 117 yards. I'm sorry, you can't. That's just the way it is. Number 13 down from number 11. I'm probably going to fall down even further as the Washington Redskins. All starts with that horrific injury that Alex Smith had. I mean, if you watched it like I did, oh, it was nasty. Oof. Ugh. Makes you want to throw up if you have a queasy stomach. But, I mean, they'll fall more because of that loss yesterday. I don't think Colt McCoy is the guy for the job. I mean, he's a solid, as they said, he's a solid backup quarterback, but he ain't the guy that you want starting in games. That's just flat out. And watching the Washington defense yesterday, they've taken a step back. They let Mari Cooper run wild, and they let Zeke run wild. And yeah, I know they're beat up injury-wise, but I mean, it's a pity because I can just imagine the Cowboys winning that division and it going to their heads. And yeah, I really wish the Redskins were the one to pull off that division. But I mean, we'll see. There's still football left to be played, so you gotta refocus. Number 12 up from number 15, the Seattle Seahawks. Once again, solid win against the Green Bay Packers, and then it's going to be a tougher game this week. You go to Carolina, but I'll talk about that later. Number 11 up from number 13, Baltimore Ravens. I would say run with Lamar Jackson. I wouldn't go back to Joe Flacco, but that's just me. Number 10 down from number 9, the Carolina Panthers. Weird loss against the Lions. And it seems like playing in Detroit, I mean, Detroit's a lot more competitive at home, but it seems like playing in Detroit does something to opposing kickers. Like, I don't know what it is, but they just can't make field goals. They can't make extra points. I don't know what it is. It's weird. Their defense hasn't looked very good the past 2 weeks. So they have to figure out what's going on there. And I completely agree with Ron Rivera on that 2-point conversion call at the end of the game. I totally would have gone for it. I want to have the lead, so I completely agree with that call. Number 9 down from number 7, my Minnesota Vikings. 5-4-1, and you're at number 9. That just shows you there's so many teams below you that aren't doing as well. And I mean, I think the main reason that I still stick us at number 9 and what my other people put us at number 9 is our talent level. I mean, we have to play up to our talent level. I mean, we can do that. We're better than how we're playing. We need to figure out a way to show we're as good as people think we are. Number 8 up from number 10, and the Houston Texans. Won 7 in a row, and I think they're going to get 8. So, number 7 down from number 4, the LA Chargers. Rough loss against the Broncos, but you guys are still, I mean, I think it does kind of hurt you. I was thinking if you went into the playoffs hot that you would have a chance, but this might deter that a little bit, but you never know. Number 6 up from number 8, and they'll probably go up if one of the teams above them falls. The Chicago Bears. Yeah, it sucks. Their defense looks good. And the most opportune time to beat them would have been yesterday because Mitch was out and the Lions had chances, but they couldn't capitalize, so it sucks. the Bears. Number 5, up from number 6 on their bye week, the New England Patriots. Yeah, they'll beat the Jets this weekend, but after that, it gets a little tricky. Number 4, up from number 5, the Pittsburgh Steelers, looking better and better every week. Solid comeback. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger looked crap for the first 3 quarters of that game. Fourth quarter, he looked like the Ben Roethlisberger of old. So, Pittsburgh, number 4. And now is when I will get to the Rams and the Chiefs game. And I'll say my rankings first before I get into details. At number 3, staying at number 3, the LA Rams. And then at number 2, down from number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. That's right. I said it. The Rams beat the Chiefs, and I still put the Chiefs above the Rams in the power rankings. And I'll give you 2 reasons why. Well, actually, I'll give you 3 or 4. But I'll give you at least 2 reasons. First of all, the Chiefs were down by double digits twice in that game and came back and took the lead both times. That's one reason. Second reason is the Rams could not contain Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt. I mean, they did an okay job containing Kareem Hunt. He still got open and he still got a touchdown. Tyreek, over 200 yards, could not contain him at all. The Chiefs did a pretty good job containing Gurley. He only got like 55 yards. And he didn't get any touchdowns, so props on them for that. And it just stresses how much the Rams need to keep Talib back. Their secondary needs to get better if they want to have any shot of winning and going on to the Super Bowl. And another reason I'll get into it, I feel like the Chiefs have a better chance ending at the number 1 seed than the Rams do. The Rams have one more tough game on their schedule, I feel like, and that's going to be the tough game is on the road against the Bears, which they could potentially lose. And the Saints, I don't really think the Saints have a very, very losable game on the remaining of their schedule. I mean, their only hard game the Saints have is the Steelers, but they're at home, so that gives them an advantage. So, yeah, that's the main reason why. I feel like the Chiefs could afford one more loss and still get the number 1 seed. The Rams can't afford one more loss because I think the Saints could run to the table, so that's why. So that's why I have Rams number 3 staying at number 3, and I had to move the Chiefs down because they lost. So that's why the Chiefs are number 2 instead of number 1. And obviously, at number 1, and we'll stay at number 1 for this week, would be the New Orleans Saints because they won. I don't think anyone can stop the Rams. I mean, I don't think anyone can stop the Saints. It sucks. It really does. But, yeah, no. And their defense is starting to look better, so yep, that's the NFL Power Rankings for this week. And now my Week 12 game picks. And as I said, 3-0 in my picks yesterday. Bears, Cowboys, and Saints. 49ers and Buccaneers. Gross. I'll give that one to the Buccaneers just because their offense, I feel like, at home could put the 49ers defense in a bind. Giants at the Eagles. I have to give it to the Eagles. I'm thinking the Eagles are primed for a letdown, but no, I have to give it to the Eagles or the Giants. Patriots at the Jets. Tom Brady, 23-5 in career after bye week, including playoffs. Yeah, I'm going to give that to the Patriots. Browns at the Bengals. Browns looking to snap 25-game road losing streak. I think they will do that. I don't think Baker Mayfield will have a day, and Cincinnati's defense is once again going to suffer. I'm going to give that one to the Browns. This one's a tricky one. Seattle Seahawks at the Carolina Panthers. I think the critical matchup in that game is going to be Seattle's secondary to Panthers receivers. Both groups have not really had a stellar season. The Seattle secondary allowed a lot of wide open passes and touchdowns. Excuse Whoa. Excuse me. So, the Seahawks did allow a lot of wide open passes and receptions to the Packers last Thursday. So, because they're at home, I'll give that to Carolina. I'll by like a smidge. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think both defenses are going to show up. I'll say it's going to be Panthers 17, Seahawks 14. But I wouldn't be surprised if Seahawks win that game. Jacksonville at Buffalo. Jacksonville's lost 6 straight. Now they're going at Buffalo. This is kind of a disguise. I mean, their defense finally started to show up last week against Pittsburgh. And considering Buffalo's offense is horrific, I'll give that to Jacksonville on the road. Oakland Raiders at the Baltimore Ravens. I'll give that one to the Ravens. It could be. I don't think the Raiders will win. Yeah, I'm just going to simply say that. I don't think Raiders have a chance to win. Cardinals at Chargers. I'm going to go with Chargers. They need to get rebounding, and yeah, I feel like they're in position to do that. Steelers at the Broncos. I was originally going to pick the Broncos in this game, but then I looked at the byline, and it's like Steelers are one of 2 teams that do not have a loss on the road this season, which surprises me. Yeah, and I don't think Broncos defense is like it was in years past, so I'll give that one to the Steelers. Dolphins at the Colts. Colts going for their... they are on a 4-game win streak, which is the first time since 2014. And the offense looks amazing with Andrew Luck and everything, and the Dolphins defense is trash, so I'll give that one to the Colts. And then the Vikings and the Packers Sunday night. I'm going to give it to my Vikings, not just because of my Vikings fan, but I'm thinking that, I mean, yes, the Packers are desperate, but we're also desperate as well, and we're at home, which gives us the advantage. So, and I'm hoping we can get a run game going. We're going to win that game if we can get the run game going, and if we can get after Aaron Rodgers. So, then Monday Night Football, Titans at the Texans. The Titans need to win that game if they have any shot of winning that division. That being said, I don't think they will. I'm going to give that one to Houston. And so, I feel like I want to talk about other sports, but I really don't. Maybe I'll talk about